favorite of cervezas.
What is it that you like more about the Modelo Negra
The
instead of the
flavor,
Modelo
dude. I don't
Especial?
know. And
Because you're
some
not a
people,
dark beer fan.
look, the way I describe my beer taste is I'm just a very boring beer drinker. Like I like stuff that's in the middle. Your pilsners, some ales, lighter ales. Um, but like I'm not judging, not necessarily judging my beer off of how like I'll drink Guinnesses. I've come around on Guinnesses, but I I don't touch porters or stouts, any of the real sweet stuff. I think that all has a weird aftertaste to it. And then nothing too hoppy. I cannot stand an IPA.
IPAs are the worst.
But cervezas are skunky in general. Like I cannot stand a Dos Equis. Dos Equis is my
Dos
least
Equis is
favorite.
bad.
It's my least favorite cerveza.
Would you take a Tecate over Dos Equis?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh
Oh
yeah.
man. Oh, Tecate
I
might
mean that's just
be
like a Bud
the
Light. Like
worst. There's something worse about it. I do not like Tecate.
yeah, but no, the some people do the Modelo Negras without the limes. Like they just like the dark lager by itself, but I have to have the lime in the Negra as well. And fucking clip that. Why don't you?
If, any cerveza has to absolutely have alignment.
um Presidente, no.
I can't say that I've had it.
Presidentes are good by themselves.
Interesting. Have you ever had Foster's?
Long time ago.
Never had a all the Australians talk shit on.
Well, yeah, it's like the cheapest thing you can get.
Comes in the biggest
One,
can too.
one of, yeah. All right, mate. You get me some
Oh.
four stars. Don't clip that.
Speaking of bad things, the Jets.
Bad things.
Speaking of bad things, the Jets. Yeah, we're talking about bad beer. Um, Tyrod Taylor was
Tarad.
expected to start.
If we're gonna say Bijan correctly, we need to say Tarad correctly.
I have not said anything about how we say Bijan's name.
No, but everybody says Bijan, and
It's not
we've
Bijan.
both made it a point to say it's pronounced Bijan on this show. If we're gonna do that for Bijan, we need to do that for Tarad. It's not
All right,
Tyrod, and we've known this for
Tyrod.
longer than Bijan.
Fair.
It's Tarad.
It's Tyrod. All right. Well, it doesn't really matter because he was expected to start and is likely not going to play.
Did he get his lung punctured again? Did this man get punctured for the second time in his career?
This will just happen before being on the sideline and ready to start. Uh, I think it was some sort of knee injury that he picked up during the game. The expect from what
So
reports I've read, expectation is
don't pick up Josh Reynolds. Is that what you're saying? Like they're not going with Terod Taylor. They're going to their third string backup.
I mean, I think it's just going back to Justin Fields.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just going like they were benching Justin to get to Terod,
Right.
and Terod
But they're not
unlikely to
going to give a
play.
third guy. They're not going to give a third guy a chance. They're just going to go like, "Oh, well, funny enough, you're back in the game, bud."
You're back in.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have mattered. The Jets are
We
so
didn't
bad; it
want
would not have
you.
mattered.
We didn't like we don't want you here, but you're back.
I
This
don't.
wasn't
Yeah,
our choice.
again, we talked about it last week. It doesn't matter who they have under center out there. Uh, Whoever it is just going to be bad. But hilarious that Harad was expected to be the starter and now likely won't even suit up.
Did he just get hurt in practice or what?
No, it was some sort of knee thing that he picked up in the game this past week when Justin Fields got benched.
So
Played the whole game and now unlikely to play.
That's weird. All the fantasy apps have like been projecting him like mid tier quarterback points.
Yeah, it was something that I saw this morning just on Twitter. Again, just reports. There's nothing confirmed, but the language made it seem like he's unlikely to play.
I mean, this man also likes to confidently spout misinformation, so don't necessarily
I
listen
can
to
only
what
go
he
off
has to
of
say.
what's being reported, man.
But sometimes you don't, and sometimes you make up your own shit. So
I don't
just
make
got
up
to keep you in
reports.
check every now and
Just some stats every once in a while.
then.
Lamar's back. It's another report. Fact check me if you want. Lamar was practicing today. Expected that he'll play in their game again. Who the Ravens got this week? Who do the Ravens have this week? It is the Bears, and they are 6.5 point favorites. Not sure why that defense isn't getting any better. In fact, it's probably still getting worse. So don't expect any changes there. But Lamar's back. Maybe the Ravens at least can hang 40. Don't have to worry about Cooper Rush.
Wait, so you're telling me the Ravens are sitting at 1 and
One and
5,
five. 1 and 5.
and they have them favored in this game by 6 points?
6.5 points. Crazy.
Interesting.
Very crazy. Some of these spreads that we'll take a look at the end of the show when we pick against the spread, they're a little weird this week. They're a little weird this week, at least on a Wednesday. Listen, if you're a bettor out there, you should not be taking the lines on Saturday or Sunday. You should be taking the lines on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Lock that shit
Those
in.
you need to get your bets in early on in the week before more information comes out for Vegas to mess with the lines a little bit because that line is I guarantee is changing by kickoff Sunday. You need to be getting your bets in on Wednesdays at the latest.
Bitty bet butt. I'm a better bitch.
The guy who thinks he's
Actually,
much
I
better
don't
than
bet.
he
I don't
is.
sports bet. Notoriously, I don't sports bet. If I were to start betting everything, like the opposite of what I bet would happen. I just know.
Well, to be fair, it's not legal where you are until 2026.
I could cross the border.
You could. A lot of people in Missouri do.
Place your bets in Kansas, boys.
There's a guy out there who thinks the opposite of you, Tybo. You're like, yes, I'm bad at some of these things, right? And you're upfront with it. But there's a quarterback out there who thinks he's much better than he is and makes things about him when nobody's talking about him. Did you see the discourse between Russell Wilson and his former coach over there in Denver, John
But
Payton?
this wasn't unprovoked. Sean Payton mentioned him, did he not?
No, Sean Payton did not mention him by name. Sean Payton had said after they had played the Giants, he went over to, or maybe it was pre that, yeah, it was pregame that he hopes Jackson Dart starts sometime this season, but doesn't start for them. And then after the game, I think he mentioned to Dabo like, "Hey, thanks for not starting Dabble, or sorry, thanks for not starting Jackson Dart, or that he needs to start the next week." Didn't ever mention Russell's name, whatever. And then Russell decided to tweet him out. And then in his press conference today, Sean Payton was like, "Yeah, dude, I wasn't even talking about you. I just really like Jackson Dart. I was just really admiring Jackson Dart to his coaches."
I, I don't. I've only caught like little blurbs and stuff about it on social media, so I thought Sean Payton was literally saying like I was hoping that they wouldn't make the switch to Jackson Dart so I could pummel my old quarterback again.
I
I
mean,
mean, that's how it was
that's
certainly
that's how it
spun.
that's
Like,
definitely how it was spun.
and that's all I
Also,
caught. I
also, we can all agree that it's a much easier game if you have to play against Russell Wilson than what we've seen with Jackson Dart. He's good. Jackson Dart is clearly
who
pretty
the
good at playing the
who did
quarterback
he hang
position.
450 yards on earlier this season on though?
The Cowboys, one of the worst defenses in the league.
Yeah, tell that to the Cowboys.
That's why they're trying to trade for Max Crosby.
Okay, can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah, the
You
the
know what
trade
I
deadline is coming up. It's in a little over
what
a
I
week.
what I absolutely
Yeah,
hate is
almost two.
all the graphics out there that are saying that if Jerry pulls off a Max Crosby trade, like they would make him instant Super Bowl contenders. No, the fuck it wouldn't. No, you weren't Super Bowl contenders when you had fucking Micah, and you're just gonna replace the pass rusher on the team? Like, no, that does not instantly make them Super Bowl contenders. Dak can't win in the postseason, period. So, like, it doesn't matter who you have rushing the passer. Trayvon Diggs is also becoming a liability. Like,
Ben called it. He's not. He was never good. He was never good.
he was very high risk, high reward. He was like, he was like Marcus Peters, but like on crack. Like,
And not as good.
was only gonna make the big play or get fucking burnt.
And they have two corners that do that. Not only Trevon Diggs, but they also have a Deron Bland. And both guys, they're either going to jump or get burned for 90 every single play. That's it.
Burned for 90.
Like I agree. The it doesn't. I think it would make them a lot better. What was the one thing that they needed to do? They needed to get their defensive line better at stopping the run. You bring in Kenny Clark, however you got that, like that, you could have made that trade so much better. But whatever. Bringing in now, utilizing one of those first round picks that you got, and bringing in Max Crosby wouldn't be a bad move. I don't know if the Raiders go for it. I don't know if they trade Max Crosby. We'll see. We've got a little under 2 weeks by the time you're hearing this that it does happen, but
Listen,
or that the
I
deadline comes
if
up. It makes them better.
if I was an
Absolutely.
NFL owner, I would try to get Jerry Jones on like the blacklist of like don't trade players to him. Do not do anything that might possibly benefit this man and only trade with him if you know you're completely screwing him over.
Yes.
Jerry Jones needs to get out of the league. Like he needs to be blackballed.
Well, see, here's the thing though, is like that happens and bet you the Cowboys instantly get better as soon as
That's
Jerry's gone. So
fine.
why I
That's
don't
fine.
want the Cowboys to
I
be
don't
better.
necessarily hate the Cowboys. I hate Jerry Jones.
I don't want the Cowboys to be better. That fan base is awful. If you thought the Patriots had a bad fan base, if you thought the Bills had a bad fan base or the Bengals, whoever, like it technically is one of the largest fan bases in the world because of how large their market is and how well they've done in the marketing area of
I
just
don't
like
think
creating fans.
I don't think they're that bad or toxic or anything like that, but like they're just kind of gullible. Like how long have they been
Well,
saying like
yeah,
this is our year and like we just love to make fun of Cowboys fans like actually having hope. But
very Texas Longhornish.
I don't necessarily see them as like toxic or annoying or anything like that.
That's because they've
I
been
hate the
bad.
Bengals fan base.
Because they've been bad for 30 years. I want to keep them that way. Keep Jerry around as much as possible. But Max Crosby does make that defense quite a bit better. I think they still lack at DB. They still lack at linebacker. It does not make them contenders in any way, shape, or form, but it would make them a much better team than they currently are. And it would likely happen right before Thanksgiving when we do play them. And that would not be fun to have to play Max Crosby on that team.
I think we would deal with it. It would be fine.
We do all the time, but it still wouldn't be fun.
Fuck Jerry Jones,
Speaking
man.
Speaking of all these trades that could be, or that specific trade, the trade deadline is coming up in less than 2 weeks. It is November the 4th. There's quite a bit of rumors floating around out there. Some of them do have some credibility to them, like Max Crosby to the Cowboys. Potentially a couple of trades for the Chiefs. There's some other ones out there that have some real credibility, but as we know with the NFL, it's rare that big things happen around the trade deadline. That stuff usually happens at the end of the season or right before the season starts. So
Yeah,
don't get your hopes up. It does not happen during the season for the NFL, not for impactful players. But something that will impact you is going to be fantasy football in NFL Week 8. I hope your teams are doing good. So I'm coming at you with five players that you need to start, and five players that you need to sit this week. I'm going to start off with my stardom here at quarterback, coming off of a big week, going up against one of the league's worst defenses. We just talked about him. Go ahead and start Bo Nix. Had
ew.
had a really good week last week. Expect him to have another good week because the Cowboys defense is bad. I'm going to go a little backup running back action that you need to start this week. It's Chicago Bears running back Kyle. I'm going to butcher this last name. Mongang Mongangai.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mongangai.
The guy everybody's been picking up in fantasy.
DeAndre Swift, he's still a backup, but his role has been increasing. If you're picking him up, you're probably stashing him, waiting. It seems like DeAndre Swift has picked up a little knock. I think Kyle's gonna end up getting quite a bit more work this week. He's a very good receiving back, works very well in that system. I'd say go ahead and start him.
Bold.
On the
Will it
same,
turn out like my Kenny Gainwell pick from last week?
maybe it might. Um,
15 total yards.
Keep in mind that the Bears are also going to be playing against the Ravens. It's one of the worst. It is
Yeah.
the worst, statistically, the worst defense in the entire NFL. It doesn't
Kenny
matter that they're
Gainwell was
getting.
going up against the Bengals.
It doesn't matter that Lamar Jackson is coming back. He doesn't play defense. So while we're starting backup running back Kyle, whatever his last name is, I'm going to butcher it
Magana
again.
guy?
Mangana
Magana
guy.
guy.
Go ahead and start Rome Odunze, wide receiver for the Bears as
Dom
well.
Doze.
Dom Dunze. And I'm actually just going to go a little bit back to back here. We've had two Bears, so I'll give you another Bronco to throw in there with Bo Nix. Go ahead and start Troy Franklin. Got his a big touchdown last week. Expect him to get at least one more this week with a handful of catches to go along with it.
Bo Nix has got a lot of people spread it out to. Mims had a good game last week too, man.
Yep. Yep. This week it's going to be Troy Franklin again. And the final start here, we're going tight end. A guy that Sean would not be very happy with me bringing off his all-time sit-em list, but I'm going with it.
Bring him out. Bring him out.
Give me a Kyle Pitts week. The Falcons are facing the Dolphins. Technically, they have one of the best pass defense rankings per their
Per
whatever
their
stat. I don't know. Go watch the film. They suck. Okay, they suck in all facets.
So look, I have
Kyle Pitts game.
in the Dynasty League, I have Troy Franklin on my taxi squad. And I have Debo and Garrett Wilson, who are questionable right as of right now.
Debo's expected to play. We'll get to that here in a little bit.
Oh, okay. Well, you just answered my question. I'm not going to start Troy Franklin over Debo.
You're going to start Debo knowing that Jaden Daniels is out against the
Mariota
Kansas City
throws it.
Chiefs defense.
Listen, all right, dude.
Troy Franklin's your guy.
You've
We'll get
burned
to
me
this.
before, you fuck.
We'll get to the, you burned me many a times as well. Life goes on. Let's
I'm
get to the
trying to
sit-ems
win.
here. Let's get to the sit-ems here. This is actually a big sit-em list. All right, there's some stuff in here that you need to pay attention to. So we're going to start off at quarterback. The Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott is going up against one of the best defenses in the entire NFL. They're going to be slinging the ball quite a bit and throwing it out there, but I think he's going to have a horrid day against the pass rush and very good DBs. Patrick Surtain, or Surtain, however you want to say it, is going to be locking whoever is on his side. He's not going to follow, but he's going to be locking up CD when he's head up there, and he's going to be locking up Pickens when he's head up there. So do not expect Dak
You're
Prescott
lying.
to have a great day.
Pickens will throat chop him, and he'll be all right.
Listen, the receivers may have like CD and George Pickens may have good days. Dak Prescott will not. He's going to be throwing some picks.
Make that make sense.
Running back. Running back, we are going with bench Christian McCaffrey.
Oh my God. What is
Running
what?
back for the
What?
49ers. He is
What?
the only thing that has been going right for the 49ers so far this year. Well, guess what? They're going up against a Texans defense who just got absolutely throttled by the Seattle Seahawks. With it doesn't matter if they have Sam Darnold or Mac Jones back there, they're still missing a lot of weapons at receiver. George Kittle's still out. Maybe he's back this week. That's still up in the air. Doesn't really matter. Go ahead and make a lock for Christian McCaffrey to sit on your bench. He's going to get tore up this week by that Texans defense. One of the best
That
in the league.
McCaffrey is unsittable right now, dude. There's not a chance
I'm
someone who
telling you
has
right
him on
now to
their
sit him.
roster is going to put him on the bench.
Telling you right now to sit. We'll get to receivers here. First receiver out of Miami, it is Jalen Waddle. Go ahead and sit him. He's really their only receiving option outside of Darren Waller, who also left halfway through the game last week. But Tua is playing so bad right now. Realistically, we're just waiting for McDaniel to get fired at the head coach position. Um, Jalen Waddle's going to have another bad week, especially with the Dolphins playing against the Falcons. Start Kyle Pitts, bench Jalen Waddle. Next guy to throw on your bench over here. He's had two pretty solid weeks back to back for the first time this season. It is AJ Brown. Go ahead and put him on your bench and do not plan to start him. They do play against the Giants. It is a home game. I expect with as bad as they've been running the ball with Saquon Barkley, that they'll want to go ahead and manage this game more than they have so far this season with any other game. And they'll be running the ball quite a bit, trying to get to those push zones. So go ahead and sit AJ Brown.
I think Sirianni is the type of coach that makes it a point to run Saquon versus old team.
Yes, that as well. Final sit here, a guy who has had a breakout season. I believe he is a rookie playing for not a very good offense. He is a shining light in this offense as they try to get things moving in the right direction. It is tight end Harold Fannin for the Cleveland Browns. He's been fantastic so far this year, but he is going up against what has been
He's
growing
been
as a
kind
very
of
good
mid since the
defense.
opening couple weeks. He's also competing for looks with David Njoku. Njoku's like still out there. So
Njoku is still out there. I was looking at Harold Fannin's stats earlier, and they were really strong. Um, I can't spell his name right. Let me just go ahead and look up.
Fannin.
Yeah, I missed the double N. Um, I mean, he's only had he in the last 3 weeks he had a game for 11 points, 15 points, and then 7.5 against Miami. Like you're going to take that for a starting tight end. But go ahead and bench him again. The
Your
Patriots defense has been rising,
your
and
situms are surprisingly like guys that were drafted very high. Like I don't know if we're outside of AJ Brown, who's had known struggles already this season. Like I don't know if you can Waddle might be a little bit more reasonable, but like sit McCaffrey, dude. Like
hey, sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
if you're
Sometimes
drafting him in that position, I just don't know like who you have available to sit him for. But
I mean,
Go off King.
if you're
It's your
drafting,
just the tips. It's your
it's
tip.
mine. It's my tip. Listen, if you're drafting Christian McCaffrey, that means that you also had a pretty high pick, probably top 5, which means that you had plenty of opportunities to also get some additional guys in there. Running backs were going surprisingly very late into the rounds this year, at least from what I was able to see in the multiple drafts that I was in. So um, you should still have some other options out there. The running back that I told you to pick up, he's still available in a lot of leagues, at least up into this Wednesday's waiver wire. So hey, there's some guys out there to go and pick up and be ready for. Thought you'd have something else to add in there. My bad. That's on me.
Suck your
That's on me.
tips,
That's on me.
man.
We'll get to our
Had
games
to
to
reply
watch.
to a message. My bad. I
You're fine.
focus. Sorry, it's just us two. There's no Sean.
There's no
Focus.
Sean. It's not like Sean would have much input, anyways. We'll get to our game to watch here. I think this one's going to be fun. I think this one's going to be fun. The spread is very
Listen,
large
it
at
was going to be
7.
way more fun if it was Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, it would have been. It would have been.
We can lower the expectations just a little bit that Justin Fields is going to be going back out there.
Sure, sure. I think you
I
can.
recently learned that he has the lowest winning percentage of any quarterback that started at least 50 games. Justin
He's been
Fields.
on. He's been on some really bad teams with some really bad coaches.
Is it just the coaches? Is it just the teams? Like, I don't know, man.
I mean, go. Let's okay. Let's. That's fair. Let's look at the coaches that he's had.
I know
Right
it's not
now,
great.
it's
I know it's not
what
great, but
what I'm
like,
saying. He's had 4 head coaches. 2 of them are no longer in the league. Or sorry, 2 of them are no longer like head coaches in the league. One is Matt Nagy, who is an offensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs. The other one was Matt Eberflus. I don't think he's in the league at all right now. You've got Mike Tomlin, who did a bad job of not playing him more and has been critiqued heavily about that. And now you have rookie head coach Aaron Glenn, who is 0-7, and the offense hasn't done anything. He can't even get Brees Hall
well,
to move along. Like, what do
look,
we?
the Jets played the Steelers really close week one, and the Bengals with Joe Flacco, like not necessarily like beat the brakes off them, but Bengals offense was kind of running circles around that Steelers defense. If so facto, Joe Flacco is going to blow out the Jets, and I don't know if this game's going to be that much of a game to watch.
I don't know. Joe Flacco's 1-1. Quarterbacks come in and do like we've seen it many times in this league.
Josh
Look at
Dobbs.
just going to say Josh Dobbs. They go in and for one game, maybe for 2 games, they play really well, and then after that, it's a major fall off because okay, we know exactly what type of system this team. Like we didn't have film on what this player would do with this team and system around him.
Well, I
We
mean,
kind of get caught off guard.
what do the Jets do? Double Jamar Chase? He'll throw it to T Higgins.
That's fair, and that's going to be
That
that's
was
going
the
to be up to
system. It
them.
was throw the ball to
Here's
Jamar Chase, dude.
he,
Like,
he, here's the other thing: just rush Bill Flacco, just rush him, get him on the ground, get him rattled, get him trying to move out of the pocket or throwing the
he'll get
ball
rid of
away.
that
If you
ball.
can,
He'll get rid of the
if
ball quick.
he'll get yeah, that's fine, and they've got the defensive line to
Savvy
go
veteran
out there
quarterback.
and
He's gonna dump the ball into the area right where that pressure's coming from. Joe Flacco's not an idiot.
he's
I,
not he's not. I'm not
the
saying he
main
is.
catalyst, honestly, the main catalyst for the Bengals offense is if they get Chase Brown going at a decent clip. If he's getting
That will
4 yards a
yes,
carry, the
absolutely,
Jets do not stand a chance. They will not be able to
absolutely.
keep up with how many points the Bengals score.
Here's the opposite side of that. We're going. What are the Jets? What are the Jets defensively going to be able to do to stop the Bengals? I don't think it's going to be a defensive game this one. The Bengals have had one good game defensively this season, and it was against the Steelers. That's it.
The Steelers still scored like 30 points.
Exactly. That's the only good defensive effort that they put up this season. They're the Ravens are bottom of the barrel. The Bengals are just slightly above them defensively. I think this is a game where the Jets offense actually looks pretty good. I don't know if the Jets walk away and win in this. The Bengals certainly are not should not be expected to win or be favored by 7.5 points. I think the reason why I'm choosing this game is because I think it's going to be an offensive battle.
I would be number one, I would be way more comfortable agreeing with you if this was Tyrod Taylor. The second thing is if Garrett Wilson is healthy, then I think there's more of a chance as well. If
That
if
plays
if
a
there's
huge
no
factor
Garrett
into it all.
Wilson, who is really the receiving threat? Like
That's a great question.
Garrett Wilson would be the Jets' Jamar Chase, and that's who they throw the ball to.
Yeah, they got Mason Taylor, the tight end rookie
Hush,
tight end
hush,
that Sean
shut
was
up, shut your
was
mouth.
talking about. They've also got Brees Hall, so they've got some things that they can do and work around. I think it's going to be a very nice offensive game. This
Justin
one,
Fields doesn't have anything in his locker.
he can run the ball. He'll be all
The the London commentator. What do you have in your locker to win this game? And he's sacked.
right.
He doesn't have shit in his locker.
We'll get to the best games to really watch this week. I think that game will be a fun one to pay attention to, but as far as games that we think are going to be the best to absolutely watch, we've got a showdown of the NFC least. It is the Giants. They're headed into Philly. The second time these two guys are going to be playing, these two teams will be playing so far this year. I believe the Giants walked away with a win last time. Is that correct? Am I looking at that wrong?
I have no idea. I don't care about this division enough to pay attention to the rivalries.
This dude hates anything that is not Chiefs related.
You can clearly see that.
Yeah, the Giants actually smacked the Eagles last time, 34-17, just a couple of weeks ago. So they're seeing each other again
Oh yeah,
very
yeah, yeah, yeah,
soon
yeah,
after
yeah.
after uh,
The
after that.
game that farmed all this aura for Jackson Dart and Cam Scatabo. Boo.
Yeah, let's
Boobo.
let's do it again. Let's do it again. I think the Eagles are really going to try and control this game on the ground, run time off the clock, keep the ball out of Jackson Dart's hands. Um, it doesn't help that the Giants are missing one of the better receivers in the league. Is some people are saying he's one of the best in the league in Malik Neighbors. The talent wise, yes, but also his availability has not been there in 2 seasons. Unfortunate mishaps, but not available. It seems like they'll be looking to make some trades here before the deadline, but I still think they have the capability of getting this done. Their defense is very good. They've been able to rush the quarterback very effectively, though I think the game plan is going to be for the Eagles to just rush the ball. And they're going to have to do it effectively. They're going to have to keep the ball out of Jackson Dart's hands. They're going to have to make this game very close points wise just by controlling time of possession. That's the only way that the Eagles do win this game is by controlling the time of possession and keeping the ball out of the Giants' hands and maybe coming up with one stop.
Well, to a point you mentioned earlier, like when the quarterbacks that are traded for or like take over for their starting quarterback, they might see some success early on when they're doing some things that might be unexpected. A game that the Eagles now get to prepare for Jackson Dart a few weeks after losing to them. I think this is going to be a revenge game of sorts. Like I don't know if you lose to a team that you perceive as lesser that bad that you aren't prepared for them the next time around. It's the old adage is it's very hard to beat a team twice in the NFL. The Chiefs do it all the time. We'll not talk about the Chargers earlier this season, but like I don't know the Eagles defense while it hasn't been playing great, the firepower that they have to combat the lack of weapons that the Giants have, I think it should be insurmountable in this game. Playing in Philadelphia, Philadelphia wants their lick back. I I think unfortunately I think the Eagles do cover their spread in this game.
8 points. You're saying they win by more than eight.
Yeah.
That's a hefty tote to cover. I think this is going to be an exciting game. It is
We've
a
been talking shit
division
on the
matchup.
Eagles pretty much all season, and they just had a really good week last week.
Yeah, no, they absolutely did have a very good week last week. They've put together a couple of good weeks, the Eagles have, and they've been passing the ball a little bit more efficiently, though it has more to do, again, with the receivers just being that good, more so than the quarterback that they have under center. Um, but also, like, it was the Vikings, and they only won by six. And before that, they got the shit stomped out of them by the Giants. So it's just going to be. I think this one's going to be a lot closer than it was last time. I don't think either team runs away with it. I think this is going to be a very good divisional matchup.
Saquon has 150 yards.
That'd be a first for this year, but he has not been running the ball well. Oh,
Blame the offensive line, but he's going to get his shit this weekend. So my game of the week also includes an NFC East team, but they're touted as one of the best offenses in the league right now. I'm taking Cowboys Broncos in Denver. Um, the Broncos offense would love to prove themselves against a subpar Cowboys defense. Um, the if that's not happening, if the Cowboys are scoring at will, I don't know if the or sorry, if the Broncos defense isn't getting stops, like I don't know if the Broncos offense will be able to keep up. Bo Nix has been streaky. Overall, has looked shaky. But one thing I will point out, I'm just reiterating stuff that's been said on national outlets, but when Bo Nix is trailing, like dude's got over 100 passer rating, the completion percentage is super high. Um, for some reason, when they're down, they're turning it on. That's not a good habit to have, but if this game isn't a shootout, the Broncos are in trouble. Like the Broncos offense will not be the one running away with this game, regardless of how good their defense is. I think the Cowboys have plenty of weapons to score points against the Broncos. Um, but the Broncos offense really needs to prove themselves against a unit in the Cowboys that should be able to be taken advantage of. So I'm expecting a shootout, but it remains to be seen with the state of the Broncos offense.
I'll say, I mean, we look back at the Cowboys' schedule as well. They have not faced a defense as good as the Broncos are packaging here. Maybe the only one is the Eagles, and that's a division rivalry game, that's solid matchup, and that was the very first game of the season, where the Eagles also didn't have Jalen Carter, one of the best defensive linemen in the entire NFL. So take that out, and they still allow the Giants with Russell Wilson to put up 37 and take them to overtime. They get absolutely throttled by the Bears. They do tie the Packers. That's somewhat of a rivalry matchup, but it was 40-40. So clearly the Cowboys defense wasn't in it. They allowed the Jets to score 22 points, even though they won that game handedly. They lost to the Panthers 30-27. So the Panthers were able to find out something by running the football and defensively coming up with a couple of stops. And then the Commanders, just this past weekend with an injured Jaden Daniels, no Debo, no scary Terry McLaurin, still put up 22 points. So I don't foresee the Broncos, even with the offensive struggles that they've had this season, having any trouble moving the ball on this Cowboys defense. None whatsoever. I think it's going to
Unless Bo
be.
Nix struggles. Like
Uh,
that's the point that I'm contending. Like Bo Nix got to step up and really take advantage of the Cowboys defense. But as far as the other matchup, Cowboys offense, Broncos defense is good. I just think Dak is playing at a certain level right now where he has all his weapons and a decent run game. I don't. Yeah, the Broncos defense is probably going to get a couple stops, but I still think the Cowboys are easily capable of putting up 30.
it's
Can
also a
can
Javante
Bo Nix
Williams
do what
revenge
they
game.
need to and score 35 is what I think is the more questionable thing.
that is the questionable thing. Though we've seen quarterbacks who have struggled, look at Bryce Young, come in and be able to win these games and play very, very well. I think even a struggling Bo Nix like this game could technically be his slump buster of a game this season that just knocks him out of the struggles. I feel like he could sleepwalk through this
Yeah, the
game,
Broncos
and
would love
maybe
that.
maybe they don't win, but like he could probably sleepwalk through this game and make it very close if he can even play just slightly above the level that he's been on so far this season. uh, and the defense for the Broncos plays the way that it has been. I think this game is very easy for the Broncos.
Either way, smash the over. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored.
That's going to be a fun game. That's going to be an extremely fun game to watch. Javonte Williams revenge game. That's one you don't want to miss.
I was not considering that. Was
Ah,
not. And he's
ah.
found himself a cozy little starting job in Dallas.
It's sitting behind a fantastic offensive line who just make holes for semi trucks for people to walk through. Uh, he's gotten his get back there. He looks pretty good after the injuries that he took in Denver.
And honestly, I think that would be the X factor for the Dallas offense here. They if they struggle running the ball, you can take my commentary completely out of this. Their offensive line gets that running game going, and I think everything is going to be open for them. They're really not going
Absolutely.
to miss a beat as long as they establish their run.
Well, let's get to what'll be our favorite game personally of the week, as we love to watch the Chiefs beat up on
Dog, I'm scared.
anyone. For
I'm
what?
scared.
We're 12.5 point favorites
I'm scared.
of Marcus Mariota.
I'm scared of Marcus Mariota, dude. He's
Dude,
gonna catch his own touchdown, bro. He's gonna make it
every time we
competitive
play
somehow,
Marcus
some
Mariota,
way.
every time we play Marcus Mariota, it doesn't matter who he's with, the Falcons, the Titans, the Commanders, it doesn't matter who he's with. He's got our number. I don't know what it is.
And he be
And he's
calling.
gonna and he's gonna be he's gonna have Debo Samuel and Terry McLaurin back. Uh at least that is the expectation from head coach Dan Quinn of the Washington Commies.
It's not looking good, man. Mariota scares the shit out of me.
They've got a good little team, but I said it at the beginning of the
Don't
season.
no
This
no they don't.
commies,
You do not think that. You do not think
I,
they're a good team.
I think I let me rephrase this. They're not a good team. I said it at the beginning of the season. I think they have some very good players individually. I think their
They're a
coaching
fun
is poor.
offense. They're a
I've
fun
never been a
team
fan.
to hope like have some hope for, but a lot of their fans are kind of getting crushed from their like getting back down to earth from what happened last season.
Look, man, they had a fantastic run, and that's what happens when you have a fourth place schedule and like a halfway competent quarterback. And not saying that Jaden Daniels is less than that. I'm just saying when you have a halfway competent quarterback and you play against fourth place teams the entire season, like that's what's going to happen. You're going to exceed whatever your fans' expectations were, and they far exceeded it, making the NFC Championship and then losing. Um, and that's where the buck stops. Like, I don't even know if they make the. I called it. They're not going to be good this season, and they so far are not. I don't know if they make the playoffs at this point. And I'm not scared of Marcus Mariota. I'm not scared of that defense. We've been talking about bad defenses. We talked about the Ravens and the Bengals. Right somewhere in there is the Commanders. They're
Well,
horrible. They're so bad.
and when you have a defense that bad, like your star players on the other side of the ball need to be available. And Jaden Daniels dealing with injuries this season and Terry being out for a few weeks, like is not helping the situation. They're not
Having
making
no
it
run
easy on
game,
themselves. The defense is atrocious. Um,
no run
Bob,
game. Offensive line is bad.
Bobby Wagner, like we said, a post game last week or just a couple days ago, like this man is going to be forced to retire because of the toll on his body. He's cleaning up everything out there, but he's not like I don't know his stats on tackles for loss, but like he's not I mean, they're not winning games. They're not stopping anybody. They're not
They
stopping
can't get
anybody from
tackles for
scoring points.
losses.
Like he's just out there to make tackles while the other team's getting first downs.
Absolutely, you're right. He hasn't been getting many tackles for loss because all the tackles he's making are 20 yards down the field because nobody else on the defense does anything. He's getting no help whatsoever, and it's not good for them. But man, let me tell you, that's gonna be helpful for us as we lost Omar Norman Lott to an ACL tear for the remainder of the season. We also lost Trey Smith and Juwan Taylor partway through last week's game against the Raiders, where we won 31-0. It is expected that Juwan Taylor will be back if we needed him. They did say that he would have come back in that game, but we did not. Trey Smith is having a back issue. He was taken out. He was the first offensive lineman taken out a good only about halfway through the game, maybe. Mike Caliendo is very serviceable. It's okay if Trey is out, but it does seem like he'll be back to play. Also, the designations don't come out until end of Thursday, beginning of Friday, just because the game is on Monday night as well.
Yeah, I if this was a better defense, if there was a more formidable defensive line, I might be worried about it. But it's certainly reassuring to hear that if Jawan needed to go back into the game last week, he would have. But like, who's rushing on that side that really scares us? Who
Uh,
like give some work to the backup. Give some work to the backup.
might need to because just taking a look. I honestly, outside of Bobby Wagner, I have no idea who's on that defensive side. They traded away Josh Sweat. They've traded away a bunch of players. Just take a look at this depth chart here. Who is even on their defensive line? Literally, I've heard of. Okay, we've got Javon Kinlaw and Deron Payne. Two
Okay,
guys who have been good on other teams have done absolutely nothing for
they're
the Commanders.
they're like one step away from being journeymen, right? Like they've probably played on a few teams. Like they're not.
Kinlaw, I think maybe has been on a couple teams. Yeah, 49ers for 4 seasons, Jets for a season, and now
Yeah,
with the Commanders. Not necessarily a journeyman, but he's getting there.
I said a
Deron
step away.
Payne. Yeah, you're right. Deron Payne, oh, 7 seasons. No, every season he's played with the Commanders. He's not been on another team.
Well, nice homegrown mid-level talent, Washington. Great job.
But yeah, I mean, again, this defense is just like there's a couple guys, right? You got Deron Payne, who we know. We've got Javon Kinlaw, Bobby Wagner. Von Miller is doing absolutely nothing. I rarely have ever. I don't think I've heard his name. I forgot he was on the commies. And then Frankie Louvu, who I do love Frankie Louvu, but he's not been near as good this season as he was last season. There's nothing on the defensive side for the Commanders that shocks me. If I was a Isaiah Pacheco owner for fantasy football, I'd probably be starting him this week. Though you don't want to start him many weeks, this is probably one of the weeks that you should. They're going to be running the ball heavy because we're going to be up. The Chiefs will be. The only question is, how do we get up and to the point of where we just start running the ball and run the clock out? Are we going to force the ball to Rasheed Rice for a second game in a row?
I think he'll see more. I mean, I don't know how many target. I know he had 7 catches. I don't know how many targets he had last week, but like I think the target share goes up for sure. Like we showcased him that he's back, he's here. But now he's gonna move into more of the integral part of our offense. Like this should kind of serve as a warm up game to be playing the Bills because to score a lot of points against the Bills, we should be using Rasheed Rice a lot.
Absolutely. I think he's going to be. I don't think the ball is going to be forced to him though. If he's open, I don't think they're going to do that thing they did last week where they're trying to give him the shovel passes to get into the end zone and things like that. I think it's going to be more of a normal workload, running those specific routes that he's very very strong at, where he's best at, and utilizing this game as a full on warm up for everyone. going into the Bills game next week. The Chiefs aren't doing it. We definitely will be,
It
and
would be
and
nice
are.
to like as
We're
a
looking
Monday night
forward to
game.
the Bills, but
Yeah, I mean, as a Monday night game, knowing it's going to be slightly short week against the Bills, it would be nice to get up, be able to take the starters out early fourth quarter like we did against the Raiders. I mean, it would,
2 weeks in a row would be great. Yeah,
dude. Yeah,
2 weeks in a row, get some early rest, play the Bills, have a bye week. I think that's the best move, especially with the trade deadline coming up. I don't know how much more you wanted to have input on this game. I think it's going to be an absolute blowout. Chiefs at 12.5 point favorites. I think that's an easy cover.
but
We can.
the thing that we want to do the most, right? We would love to sit back and have Pat throw the ball 60 times a game. The Commanders' defense has not been able to stop anybody through the air. They absolutely get obliterated in the air attack, and that's what we do. We have Pacheco and Kareem Hunt as literally formalities on the team. If we didn't have to schematically put the ball in their hands and open up other things for us, like we would
Andy
not.
Reid would not.
Would not.
Running plays would not exist. We would not have a running back on the roster if that was the case. We'd have 19 wide receivers on the
And
roster,
they
and we just run
they
through
all
all of
run
them.
sub 4.4s.
um, with that said, the trade deadline's coming up. We've touched on that a little bit, but the Chiefs have been subject to rumors. And it was subject to rumors mainly at the beginning of the season when things just weren't going right. Do we trade for a wide receiver? Do we trade for a running back? Yada, yada, yada. And, you know, wide receiver quickly diminished to Xavier Worthy. That was the injury has been taken care of, and now Rashee Rice is back, and we're all good in that area. And running back is still a big piece. People are wondering, are we gonna, there's guys out there that are available for trade, maybe like a Brees Hall or an Alvin Kamara or whatever. And you look at the stats that we have, and we've got 4 running backs on the roster. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is on the practice squad. Um, and you look at our guys and you go, okay, well, Kareem Hunt, he's been playing pretty well. Doesn't have technically too many rushing attempts, but he does have at least one carry that went for 20 plus yards. He had a 33-yard run last week. I think he's got a couple of those. Isaiah Pacheco has the most carries out of any running back in the entire league, 77, without a rushing gain of 20 or more yards. It's really bad. And that has more to do with the vision than it does with the offensive line, especially if Kareem Hunt is out there putting up a 33-yard game. The vision is very poor from him.
you have to you have to also kind of take into context of when Kareem Hunt is making that rush, and if Isaiah Pacheco is keeping between a 4 and 5 yard per carry average, I am not complaining that he doesn't have any quote unquote explosive runs. Especially in the last couple of weeks, he's been getting 6, 7, 8, 9 on first down. If he's gonna rip off somewhere around a 10-yard run, I don't care that he's not getting 20-yard carries. It,
4 yards on average. 16 is his longest. You need an explosive play from your running back every once in a while, especially for how little we're running the
not in
ball.
our offense.
You do. You still need an
No,
explosive play from elsewhere outside of just passing.
you would
You
like
have to
it.
keep that.
We
You
don't need
need
it.
it.
We
You need
don't.
it.
You would like it. It would be a luxury. We don't need it.
And all of that to say that there are still rumors that the Chiefs are looking for a running back. Brees Hall is out there with one. This is his last year on his contract. There's Alvin Kamara. A lot of people have been
And look,
talking
if
about. I
that
don't think
if
the
that
cap
running
room.
back isn't Brees Hall, any other name realistically that's on the trade market, I don't want them.
Yeah, I don't want
If I'm
Alvin
not
Kamara. He's
getting
too
Brees
old. The
Hall, do
contract is
not
too
give me
much.
Alvin. Do not give me Alvin
I
Kamara
don't
at
want
this
that.
point in his career.
No. Beat up and injured too a little too much, contract too heavy. Don't want to worry about that. But what has been a main focus, especially even going back to last week, right before the Raiders game, Diana Rossini talked about it. That the Chiefs, or actually broke the report on it. She stated that even though there have been rumors about the Chiefs going after a running back, they've actually been locking in on defensive line help. That was pre Omar Norman Lott tearing his ACL. So
And
we
now we need
already
him
were
more.
were low. Now we need it even more. Well, it was broken today by uh, gosh dang it, it was Jeremy Fowler and I think it Dan Graziano uh, stating that the Chiefs were looking at defensive line help, and one of those players they're mainly looking at is defensive end for the Miami Dolphins, Jalen Phillips, a guy who's had a couple years worth of injuries. He's been healthy this season. He's looking pretty good. There's only 1 year this season remaining on his contract. I think that would be worth trading away even a mid-round draft pick to bring this guy in. If he finishes the season out healthy, you could offer him well below market value for a defensive end, but like 2 for 15, you're stable. You've got stability. Let's stay healthy. Let's get your numbers up. It gives him that stability, but also the contract length isn't too long where if he does perform, then either that gives him more ability to get a larger contract either with the Chiefs or elsewhere afterwards.
So look, I don't know a whole lot about Jalen Phillips. Don't think I've watched him a lot if he's played his whole career on the Bengals so far right now. Well, you also said he missed a lot of time with injury, so I don't know a whole lot about him. But would we not prefer to get interior help than a defensive end at this point?
Interior help would be needed, but it's also what is available. What are teams talking to us about? What can we do with our own? We've seen that Charles Minihue can play inside. He did that for for a portion of his career with the 49ers, moving inside and outside. We've seen him play in Spags' system on the inside more often throughout the years. So, yeah, do we need more help on the interior? Yes, but we also do need help on the exterior due to just some depth issues there. And I
Well,
think moving Charles Minihue
realistically,
inside can
we
help with
have three guys that Omenahue, Karlaftis, and Chris Jones that can kind of be interchanged most anywhere on the defensive line. Maybe you don't have Karlaftis play a one tech or, you know, straight up on the guard or center, but like Karlaftis can play tackle. Karlaftis can get some interior looks as well.
that. He can get a three tech going.
Chris Jones, I guess we've seen him a little bit more on the end now that he's getting a little bit older,
He
not
can
wanting
play
to
that
take as
one.
many double teams, but like we have three guys on the roster that can play pretty much anywhere on the D line.
Exactly. And so you bring in Jalen Phillips, and that allows those guys to move around, Spags to get a little more different, weirder looks there. But there's also some other guys that we are being rumored with and should be paying attention to. One of the rotational pieces for the New Orleans Saints, Christian Boyd, he's been pretty decent down there. Their defense overall isn't very good, and he has played fairly well, given
He's a
his
tackle
depth
though, if
piece.
I'm remembering correctly.
Defensive
Like
tackle.
he is a
Correct.
tackle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's a guy to bring in the interior that's not going to cost you very much in terms of capital, whether it's a draft pick or a player or whatever. On the other side of that, a guy who has been in the league for a very long time, who's very good. He has one of the best win rates in the entire NFL this year at like 37 years old. And he's on a team that has no expectations of making the playoffs whatsoever. Elias Campbell, a guy who's very long in the tooth. He's not expected to last his career much longer. In fact, this year could be it. Has yet to win a ring. I say that's a guy worth going after absolutely with the way that he's been playing this season. Play him next to Chris
If
Jones.
that win
That
rate
defensive line is
stat is
crazy.
true, if that win rate stat is true, and like he's a vet, like performing at still at a high level, like I'm all for going and getting Calais Campbell.
It'd be like a Melvin Gordon type move for us, except Elias Campbell is still performing at an incredibly high
Do
rate.
you Are you possibly thinking of Melvin Ingram?
Melvin Ingram. Melvin
Okay,
Ingram. Thank you.
because
Yes,
Melvin Gordon
Melvin
didn't
Ingram.
do shit for us.
you're you're right. Well, Melvin Ingram really didn't do anything for us either, but that's just more of a
Yeah,
comparison of
he
like
did.
bringing somebody in long in the tooth. He had a game or two here there, but it wasn't what Calais Campbell could come in and do. Calais Campbell is still playing at a very extremely high level. And you pair him up with Chris Jones, the defensive line eats, especially if we're bringing in a guy like Jalen Phillips, being able to move around Charles Omenihu as well. Like
So you
that,
think
that
multiple? Do you
defensive
think multiple
line,
pieces could be incoming?
that is the report that there are multiple pieces on the defensive line that we will be making trades for. And that could mean that we are looking at not only offloading a trade capital, but we could also be looking at moving off of players as well. One of them being Josh Williams in his final year of his contract. Um, I don't know what's happened to this guy. He came in and he played very well in his rookie season with Jalen Watson. Jalen Watson clearly still playing at a very high level. Not sure what's going on with Josh Williams post that season that he came in, stepped up and played very well. But the Chiefs are looking at moving off of him, potentially using him as trade bait as well. A guy that we just signed and is for some reason a healthy scratch every single week. We gave him a 2-year, $20 million contract, $15 million guaranteed at signing. Christian Fulton is being waved out there as trade bait, and a guy who I don't know why he's not playing. But there's going to be somebody out there who needs a guy who is as good as he is. You're not going to have to pay anything out of his contract because it's only $5 million for 2 years that you're going to have to pay for it. Since the Chiefs already covered 15 of it, if we're willing to move off of him, that's a huge trade piece. Josh Williams, I think, is a very good trade piece that somebody won't have to pay very much for. And you've
Has
got
Christian
you've got some
Fulton
trade
even been
capital.
getting snaps in our defense
No,
lately?
he's been a healthy scratch every game. Paid him 20, $15 million guaranteed to be a healthy scratch. I don't know why. Nobody knows why. I don't think it has anything to do with his talent. He's very good. We've seen him play in the preseason. He was very good. We've seen him play in other seasons. He's been very good. I'm not sure what the issue is there, but if we're not going to play him, let's go ahead and use that to bring in a Jalen Phillips or a Calais Campbell and strengthen the areas that we need to. I don't think we need to get rid of both Josh Williams and Christian Fulton. That is not something that needs to happen. We're seeing right now that injuries happen on the offensive line. DB is a place where injuries happen more often than not on any given football
So
team.
if Christian Fulton is valued, like kind of what you're alluding to, that would be the piece we would want to move. Josh Williams still gets snaps.
With Christian Fulton and his contract, his value is going to be about a fourth round pick. Josh Williams having this year remaining on his contract, the value is roughly going to be about a seventh round pick
So
if we're
yeah,
just talking trade
if the
capital.
value is higher just based off
Christian
that,
Fulton needs to be the one
we
that we
need to
move off of.
we need to trade Christian Fulton.
Now, do other teams see that as well? I don't know how other teams are viewing Christian Fulton. We know that he's good. We know that we were not the only ones vying for his services in this offseason. So just something to look out for. But the three names that I'm hearing, everybody's hearing Jalen Phillips from the Miami Dolphins. Christian Boyd has been kind of on the wire the last couple of weeks. And recently, some one guy that I have obviously wanted and have talked about trading for, but one that has started to come up recently, Calais Campbell.
That would be nice.
That would be that would be disgusting if we had Calais Campbell. That would be gross. If he comes to the Chiefs or he doesn't, I just hope he gets out of Arizona and goes to a team that can give him a shot. Because that's one guy who deserves to have a shot with as much as he's played in the NFL.
Faux show.
Well, that is enough news on trade. We'll be talking about a lot of this stuff as the weeks continue on. Again, the trade deadline is on November the 4th. I don't think we really need to have much of a conversation here. The Chiefs are favored at home against the Commanders on Monday Night Football, 12.5 points. I already told you I was taking the Chiefs.
Cheese.
Easy enough. So let's get to our NFL Week 8 slate of games. On Thursday night, coming up just tomorrow, today, by the time you're hearing this, we have got the Vikings headed into SoFi taking on the Chargers, who are 3-point favorites at home. And I apologize, Tybo. I'm doing this again. I think we've tied the last couple of weeks, but you did beat me like 3 weeks ago, I think it was, with that 11 or 12 win. Week you where do you want to pick first, second?
You can go first, buddy.
All right.
You already went first
It
on
was the
Z's
Chiefs.
pick,
We both
so
picked the Chiefs. It doesn't. This guy. I don't like you today.
you won't be picking them next week, bitch. It's the Bills.
It's the Bills. Depends on what that line looks like. Vikings Chargers. Give me the Vikings bounce back game. Yeah. Even with Carson Wentz, give me the Vikings bounce back game. JJ McCarthy's still out.
Man, they're still playing Carson Wentz. I'll take the Chargers.
To our noon slate of Sunday games, we'll start off here. We've got the Bills versus the Panthers, who are 7-point dogs at home. Bills coming off of a couple bad losses, had their bye week, rest recovered. Unfortunately, the Panthers can't do it this time as much as I would love them to. So give me the Bills to cover.
Yeah. I mean, if the Bills even like let this game be close coming out of a bye, like you would start to. I mean, not that we and I haven't been having our own concerns about the Bills coaches.
Absolutely.
But coming out of a bye, playing the Panthers, if you don't demolish them, then we start to substantiate a lot of those claims.
And there
What are
will
you doing
need
over
to be a
there?
lot of conversations. Yeah.
What are you doing over there? But I'll take the Bills here.
For our first game of the week, we've got the division matchup New York Giants heading into Philly, taking on the Eagles, who are 7.5-point favorites at home. I alluded to this pick earlier. Give me the Giants to cover the spread.
Eagles.
The game that you need to be on the lookout for this week, just kind of have it off to the side. It could be kind of exciting. I expect it to show up a lot in red zone. It's going to show up a lot in red zone.
For the
You got the New
Bengals.
York Jets. They're heading into Cincinnati, taking on the Bengals, who are 6.5-point favorites at home. Taking the Bengals to win, but give me the Jets to cover the 6.5. Having fun this week, Tybo. Having fun this week.
I really want to pick opposite you here. I think Joe Flacco can do it by a touchdown, but like logic, common sense is telling me to go Jets. So I'll take Jets.
It's gonna be by a safety given this game. Next up, it's this one might be it's going to be a good defensive battle. I think we've got the Cleveland Browns heading into New England, taking on the Patriots in Gillette Stadium. We're 7-point favorites at home. They've been playing very well
Vegas
this
loves these
season.
sevens right
I,
now.
I don't know what's going on. Like I said, if you're a better, get in on these spreads on Wednesday. These spreads are huge for absolutely no reason. The Browns have one of the best defenses in the entire NFL. While the Pats have been playing good, Browns defense is just that much better. I think the Pats can pull out a win because the Browns' offense isn't very good, but they're still going to cover in this one. Give me the Browns.
I'll take the Pats.
Wow, this is the first time you're willing to just like go opposite of me on nearly every game. I like this. Next at noon, halfway through the slate here, we've got the Dolphins. They're heading to Atlanta, taking on the Falcons, who are 7.5-point favorites at home. I told you it's a Kyle Pitts week. I told you to bench Jalen Waddle. Give me the Falcons to cover this. They got a bounce back week coming in.
And I can't realistically pick the Dolphins. So give me the Falcons.
I'm being thrown for a loop on this one, Tybo. We touched on it at the beginning of the show. I don't Lamar Jackson's back, but that doesn't really like that doesn't excite me at all. The Bears defense is pretty good. They're heading into Baltimore, taking on the Ravens. Like I said, 6.5-point favorites at home. I don't know what Vegas is thinking here. The Ravens defense is bottom of the barrel. Nobody worse. Give me the Bears to win and to cover and win.
Crazy things have been happening in the NFL this season, and I don't think Ben Johnson has it completely figured out. I think that offense is still capable of making mistakes. And
They've made plenty.
plenty of times we've been talking shit on teams, kind of like the Eagles, and then they turn around and
They're 1-5, dog.
I'm still go- I'll still call I'm gonna go Ravens. They're in
To
Baltimore. I'm
win
going
by a tud? Oh,
win by a touchdown.
wow. Ballsy call. Right. Last game here of the noon slate. We've got probably going to be a defensive battle coming up here. I told you to bench Christian McCaffrey because the 49ers, they're heading into Houston, taking on this horrifying Texans defense. I think they get right this week. It's only 1.5 favorites to the Houston Texans. I'm taking the Texans to finally get a win.
Yeah, and I mean this pick might be going more with my heart here because I cannot stand the fact that the 49ers have like a decent record right now. So
The defense gets a bounce back. They got thrashed by the Seahawks.
give me the
The
Texans.
49ers don't
I
have
don't
enough
know about
firepower.
thrashed.
Like 27-12.
Yeah, I still don't know about thrashed.
At the 3 o'clock hour, the Tampa Bay Bucks. No Mike Evans for the remainder of the year. He's very close
So
to
sad.
retirement and
Lots
busted
of
his
lots of
clavicle.
like tearjerker edits on social media about Mike Evans going down.
It is sad. Bucky Irving is already out his designation, which is incredibly wild that it is so early in the week of Wednesday and he's already been downgraded to out. Chris Godwin also downgraded to out. They do have Amika Ibuka. They do have Cade Otton. So expect those two to have a really good week, especially when they're playing the Saints in New Orleans when they're 4.5 point dogs at home. Bucks are going to cover this easy, get a bounce back game after getting throttled by the Lions.
Been struggling with my defenses in fantasy football. Usually just kind of lock in the Steelers and forget it. And they haven't been doing great this season. Flat
Lock
up,
in the
just flat out
Steelers.
a zero, a goose egg when they played the Bengals. I'm riding with the Bucks defense in two leagues this week. So yeah, go ahead and give me Bucks.
We've got a second 3 o'clock game on Sunday, and this one's not going to be very pretty because you've got the Tennessee Titans heading to Indianapolis, where the Colts are 14-point favorites at home.
The Colts are playing who now?
Uh, is it San Jose State? Oh no, it's the Tennessee Titans. Give me the
14
Colts.
points, huh?
14 points,
You're taking them?
without a doubt.
That's a large spread there, guy.
Ride
But
the line.
the Titans are bad. So
Titans are, but I just watched. As I think Cam Ward is very good. I also watched him throw a backwards pass. His arm went forward and the pass went
well,
5 yards behind
right.
him.
That's not the first time that happened this season. The ball has come out the back of his hand more than once this season, and not a good look. Can't pick you right now. I don't even think you can score two touchdowns against the Colts.
Have they scored 2 touchdowns in a game this season?
Yes, they beat the Cardinals.
Oh, that's right, they did. Well, that was a fumble
That was
scored
a
as a
that was a
touchdown.
crazy game.
That was a fumble scored as a touchdown. I'm going to rack that up to the defense.
They weren't out on the field for that. The
I meant
offense
I meant the
scored
air
that.
I meant the Arizona defense.
Oh,
That's
oh.
just a blunder on their part. They had the interception, they fumbled it. All right, we'll get to our final game of the week. This is the final game of the only and final game of the 3:25 hour. The Dallas Cowboys heading to Denver take on a home favorite of 3.5 points. The Broncos. We talked about this one extensively. Even if Bo Nix is shaky, I still think that they can put up a massive amount of points on this horrid Cowboys defense. The Cowboys offense will probably get stifled at least 2 times in this game. I've got the Broncos walking away with a high scoring, a high point game. The Broncos walk away big winners in this one.
See, the Broncos have been playing a lot of close games, so I think it's completely within the realm of possibilities that this game is decided by less than a field goal. So go ahead and give me Cowboys.
Wow. I think it's like the Cowboys have been able to hang on with teams, right? The teams that we think they have like some good defenses. They've also had some really bad blunders. I just think the Cowboys this is the best defense that they are playing yet this season. On Sunday Night Football, a dud of a game.
Hmm.
Take this one and run with it because the Packers are playing the Steelers, who are 3-point dogs at home.
Revenge game.
Who am I
Revenge game.
who am I missing here? Who am I missing here?
Are
Who's
you?
it around?
Is this a joke?
Yeah.
This is Packers Steelers, right?
Packers. What am I missing here? Who am I forgetting about?
Dog. What?
What am
He
I
didn't
missing
necess-
here?
he didn't necessarily play on the Packers last year, but he played on the Packers his whole career.
Oh,
Aaron Rodgers. What the
oh,
fuck?
it's because listen. It's because he's had revenge games with the Jets, and I wasn't thinking about it. And like, honestly, I forgot he was even the quarterback of the Steelers because they've just been so ass this year. They just lost to Joe Joe Flacco and the Bengals, dog. Like, I don't care. Give me the Packers. This line could be -14 to the Packers away, and I'm still taking it.
What is the line
3.
in favor of the Packers?
Yeah, the Steelers are home dogs.
Give me the
It's
Steelers.
not a revenge game. I feel like that's a fine. He's
How?
he's not been with them for 4 seasons.
You still don't think like he's not going to say it to the media or anything like that, but you don't think it means a little extra to Aaron Rodgers?
I'm sure it means a little extra to Aaron Rodgers specifically because Aaron Rodgers holds on to shit like my wife does. Like just like it's in the back. It's in the back of their mind. It eats way out of like he just that's what he does. If it was a normal player, no, no. Also, they didn't get rid of him. You decided to leave. You decided that you were done there, and you decided to leave. Like that. That was it. Jordan Love would have happily sat behind you for another year or two. You decided to go to New York and you trash talked your team. You got smacked up, and now you're with the Steelers and you're not doing anything again. You're going to miss the playoffs again. Yes, it's going to mean a little bit more to Aaron Rodgers. That's it.
I'll take this. I'll still take the Steelers. You did not talk me out of my pick.
I don't want to talk you out of that pick. I don't because I want to beat you.
This week will be really telling.
This week will be really telling. I tried to have a little fun with it, but we'll see what happens there. Although I am, by the way, in case you're listening,
Shut up.
I'm 10 games in the win. I'm 59-49. Tybo's at 500. Tybo's at 500. If you want to like not lose any money, go with Tybo. If you want to win money, go with me.
I'm gonna have a couple more 11-3 weeks. It's okay.
After you've had like 7, 2, and 13s,
No, that's a lie.
that happens all the time.
You're exaggerating.
Um, Only a little bit by like 2 games for 2 weeks.
Pick the last game.
That is the last game. That was Sunday Night Football, buddy. We got Monday Night Football. It's already been picked.
Oh, the Monday night's the
Chiefs
Chiefs.
taking on the
Wow.
commies. This guy can't even pay attention to his own
I'll
team.
see myself
What
out
are we
after
doing
that
here?
one. Go Chiefs
Yeah.
or whatever. But
Make sure to join us back
Monday
at the beginning of
night.
next week. Actually, no, I'm sorry. We did this earlier this season. We'll do it again. Probably not going to be recording on Monday because the Chiefs play on Monday.
I'm pretty sure I'll
So
be at the game. So yeah, I won't be
Tybo
recording.
will be at the game. We're not going to record on Tuesday, so join us at the end of next week. Maybe we'll put out some shorts to cover some things, but join us at the end of next week as we preview NFL Week 9. Till next
90.
time, go Chiefs.
Bang Bang Niner Gang.